What's up, everybody? Some guy who cooks here, and you recently saw me use this big old pizza peel for making a giant smash burger. Now, it worked perfectly for that, fantastically for that. However, that's not what it was designed for. It was designed for pizza, and that's what we're doing tonight. Now, this may come as a shock because I cook so much stuff, but I've never been very good at making pizza crust. For real, I've made a couple that were pretty good, but they almost always come out like too doughy and just something about them not quite right, which is why for today's episode, I'm bringing in a pro, a real ringer, so say hello.
Hello, so I'm Alejandra, and I am not an expert in pizza, but the pizza crust I do, I think it works. So I'm gonna share with you my recipe. So here we have 3 cups of wheat flour, and we're going to add half a spoonful of salt and some water. We need to warm this water. 25 seconds. I have a cup of water there. We are going to add, this is a yeast.
So that's just, what is this, regular bread yeast?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy. Here you go.
Thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
So we have here all the powder, salt, flour, the yeast. We're gonna mix this a little bit, and to this we're going.
Sorry, what was that? Today's what?
To this we're adding some olive oil. I'm gonna eyeball here like half a cup of olive oil.
So you got that olive oil.
Yeah, and now.
How hot's that water?
It's not hot actually. You can't make tea with this. It's just a bit warm. So I'm adding half of the cup to this. And the reason why it's warm, it's because we have the yeast there.
Right, so you want to activate the yeast.
Mm-hmm. And now we're gonna mix this. And I will continue to add water just as needed until I get the consistency I'm looking for, like something that is easy to handle and that doesn't stick to your hands.
Okay, so that's about the consistency we're looking for?
I mean, yeah, I will not add any more water, and I will just start using my hands to mix this. So I wanna integrate all these.
So is it gonna be like a smooth ball of dough?
Is there a word that's like homogeneous or more? I don't know how to say that.
So you want it all to come together?
Yes, and that everything is homogeneous. What's the word?
Homogeneous.
Homogeneous.
Yeah, so you want everything to be one big friendly ball of dough.
Yes, that's it. So here it is.
Now that is wheat flour, so looking at it, I'm just just personally looking at it right now. It's very interesting. It's definitely more. I'm struggling to find the word, but it looks like it doesn't quite become the slick, smooth, shiny ball of dough that the regular flour does, or does it after you keep kneading it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, we need to leave this sitting a bit, so probably around half an hour.
Okay.
And actually we will leave it here, and we can use the counter later when this grows.
Okay.
So I would recommend
just like a damp rag over top of it.
Yeah, or a plastic bag or something that keeps it that keeps it from the air.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We got some plastic wrap right there.
Yeah.
And that's what we're using to cover. Are we wrapping it completely, or are we just covering it?
We're covering it because what we want is to leave some room for it to grow. This will grow, and actually when this grows, you have to come back and push it back again so that it grows again, and you will repeat that process for like 3 times, and then we're ready to bake this or take care of it with heat.
Okay, sounds good. Ba-ba-da-da! Are we done yet?
No, not yet. I said half an hour, it's been half a minute.
Dang it. Okay. How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah? It's been how long is this? How long has it been?
35 35 minutes.
Okay, so I guess now we can
Yes,
what's the step here?
Okay, we're gonna check how it is, and we want to
Like compact, press it.
yes.
Can we punch it?
Yeah, you can.
I'll let you do that. It's the fun part.
Okay, I won't punch it. It has grown a bit.
Punch it.
I want to punch it. So what I'm gonna do is like press it so that to get the air out of it. So we're gonna do this process again. We'll leave it for like 15 minutes and then we're ready to grill it. We're grilling it, right? We're not baking today.
Oh, we're grilling. And while that dough is rising, pina coladas. You got a fancy glass, right? Made out of a pineapple.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very thick. Say when.
I won't.
All right, guys, we've got our pizza peel prepped. We added a little bit of semolina flour right on top so that when we add the dough, it won't stick. I mean, it's not gonna be on there for long, but even so, we don't want it to stick when we're bringing it on over to the grill. Griddle, sorry, it's a griddle.
So here's our dough after around, what was it, 50 minutes?
Yeah, close to an hour.
Look, it's nice. Okay, now we're stretching this on the
peel.
Thank you.
A big aluminum peel.
Okay, I'm not a great pizza master. I would love to be able to do that, but I'm not good at it.
I mean, you kind of just did it a little bit. Little bit.
No, I'm very far away from that, but I would love to have that talent someday. Okay. Yeah, well, this with the heat, this will grow, so you want to make it very thin or as thin as possible. It stretches so it goes back, and so it takes a while to make it even and thin. That's what we're trying here.
All right, guys, so it's time to take this pizza crust and throw it on the griddle. Follow me on over here. I'm gonna try not to trip and try not to knock down all my lights. As you can see, this thing is hot. We're just gonna flip this right on over on top of it. Uh-oh.
You have to help it a
That's
bit.
a problem.
Help it with your...
There we go. It's stuck to the peel briefly, but it's all good now. And what we're doing, we got it on the griddle here, and we're gonna let it heat up until it gets just a little bit bubbly, and then we're gonna flip it over because we want this to pretty much cook on through. It's doing good. It's getting kind of hot, and honestly, you can keep flipping. You can see this crust is becoming just that. It's becoming a crust. So this is a different kind of pizza we're doing, okay, guys? It's not really baked because we're not baking. We could get a big dome and put it over top to keep that heat inside and bake it, but we're gonna do what I'm calling a blanket pizza. We're gonna griddle every single ingredient. So first we start with the crust here, and whoo, yeah, that thing is hot and it's doing great. Let's give it another flip. That feels awesome, and this is going to be a good dough. But we're even going to griddle the sauce so it's nice and hot, and we're going to put it right on top of there. Once we're done with the sauce, we are then going to griddle a big blanket of cheese. We're going to make a big cheese blanket and lay that over top of our pizza. So we have the melty and almost crispy in a couple parts cheese, as well as the sauce. We're going to have the dough, and we're going to put our ingredients on top of the sauce. And I think, what are we adding? We're adding olives.
Olives and fresh oregano.
Olives, fresh oregano.
And tomato slices.
Tomato slices.
It's like Napolitan style.
There you go. Let's give it one more flip.
No! Don't kill the dough!
I ruined the dough. Oh no! There we go. Hey, luckily it's pretty sturdy. I think it's done cooking though, so I'm gonna take it off the griddle.
Yeah.
There we go. This side needs a little bit more. So this right here is an interesting cheese. It's a braided cheese. It tastes a lot like a provolone, but it's stored in oil and a bunch of seasonings, and it kind of pulls apart in a rope like this. It was like a braided rope of cheese. This is one of the cheeses we're going to be using in addition to a bunch of mozzarella to try to make our cheese blanket for this pizza.
Would you like to show a rope?
We got another rope here, a big piece. This was one big braid, And but here it is, and it's just kind of pulling apart into little ropes like that. All right, guys, we had another snafu like last time, but that's okay. It is recording for sure. We got a little bit of sauce on this, but luckily I like my pizza really saucy, so you're gonna see how we do this. So we're actually griddling the sauce, not long enough that it'll turn into tomato paste, but long enough that it'll get nice and hot, and it will reduce a little bit to get a really good, strong tomato flavor. So we're just gonna put some of our sauce right down onto the griddle. You go ahead and move it around, and it's already thickening up. And what we're gonna do, let it go for just a minute, simmer. But again, we don't want it to become paste. So we're gonna take it, scoop it up, and get it right onto our pizza. Give it a little bit of a spread. Okay? Look at that beautiful sauce. Get the rest of it off of here. It leaves a nice, the griddle's nice and clean too. And what do you think? I like my pizza nice and saucy, but that might be enough. What do you think?
I like it. I think that looks good.
All right, perfect, guys. Anything left over here, it is becoming paste, so we can just go ahead and scrape that away. All right, guys. We're gonna add some ingredients to the top of this because the cheese is gonna be the final thing. We're gonna throw on some grilled olives, which, I mean, we're not gonna griddle them any further. We're just going to take them because they are already grilled. And I mean, look at these. They look great, and they are curing in olive oil, and that olive oil is gonna add some good flavor. And we're just gonna take these and we're gonna sprinkle a few right on there. Sprinkling some whole grilled olives onto here. And we'll spread them around a little bit. And that oil is just adding flavor. Okay, guys, so for the cheese blanket, we're gonna start with the mozzarella. Now, cheese blankets are no joke. You need a lot of cheese, so we're gonna start going now a handful at a time. So here we go, laying down, like I said, a handful at a time. We want it to cover this pizza we're making, and we're gonna add some of that other cheese as well. So here we go. We're adding some of that other cheese on top and near the edges.
What do you think will happen to the weird cheese?
That's a good question. I have a feeling it's just gonna kind of melt with the mozzarella. Again, it's very much like a provolone, so it's a great flavor profile for a cheese for pizza.
That smells awesome.
It does. It smells awesome. I'm gonna add a little bit more mozzarella around the outside edge here. It's almost like we're making a giant cheese chip. Look at that. Our other cheese is doing like a champ. Any straggler cheese you can push back towards the center there. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of help this shape up a little bit. Better shape up, 'cause I need some cheese. Yeah, you know you love my singing. This is doing pretty good, guys.
Yeah, should you use the other spatula?
I'll be using the peel in a second. I'm just gauging it. It still needs a little bit more time here. As you can see, it's real gooey on top, and there's still some gooiness underneath as well. It's making a good shape, which is awesome, but we do need to give it a little bit more time. So what we're gonna end up here is a crispy cheese on top with a gooey cheese just right over, the gooey cheese is gonna be inside. So it's gonna be like you have a layer of crispy cheese and a layer of dough sandwiching our gooey cheese and all the ingredients. So let's see here. Yeah. It definitely needs some more time. But it is bubbling. It's doing pretty good. You actually do have to kind of burn the cheese a bit. You can really see it bubbling now, though. Look at that. It's a, gosh, it is a thing of beauty. Now, I've never done a cheese blanket this big. So this is gonna be a little bit of a challenge here, I'm sure. And it may very well just kind of, you know, fold on itself. It very well might do that. If it does, well, I guess I'll just make some more cheese to blanket. I'm feeling a little impatient. I feel like I should just go for it.
Yeah, me too. I want to eat that. Oh, yeah, that needs...
Okay, let's get under this. So this blanket isn't cooperating 100%. There we go, we got it. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get our pizza back on there. And time to flip this bad boy right on top. Woo!
Wow.
Look at that. It may not be the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but it's gonna be pretty dang tasty. Like I said, the cheese is gonna be just about burnt, and that is definitely crispy on top. However, it is gooey, bubbly in the middle there. All right, guys. These recordings have been having issue after issue tonight, so I hope that we didn't lose any of that previous footage of us flipping the cheese over onto the pizza. Look at that. You can see how gooey it is, and then on top there, it's nice and crispy. I know it looks really dark, but I promise you, I've done cheese blankets like this before. They're always dark like that, and they're always super delicious. But anyway, we've got our pizza right here. I'm gonna move it to the side because it's all done. All that's left now is adding our final toppings, okay? We're gonna prettify it up. We're gonna be adding some fresh oregano.
Prettify.
Oh yes, prettify. Because, let's face it, that upside down cheese blanket is not pretty.
Yeah, I didn't imagine. I thought you would place it like the other way around, like the burnt cheese down.
No, we want the gooey cheese on the inside there. Well, at least I think it's cool that way. I guess I could have done it the other way, but I think like this is really something special. You never see a pizza like this.
No, you don't.
Maybe there's a reason for that. I guess we're gonna find out. But anyway, there we go. We've got all this tomato. We've got all this fresh oregano. Push it real good. And what do you say we bring it up the side, huh?
Yeah,
Woo!
let's do that.
Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Oh, we gotta clear this space. There we go. That is our pizza. You know, that actually does look really pretty. And while I cut this, I'm going to enjoy some pina colada. But that's really a hottie. And I'm burning up, and you can, I'm sure, see the sweat dripping down my nose. But that's okay. The sweat is salty, and we'll add more flavor.
That's disgusting.
Don't actually take that as a point of advice. It's just a morbid joke, because you don't want to sweat in people's food. That is really gross.
How's that pina colada?
It is freaking delicious. So, we got our pizza, and I see a nice opportunity here to just cut it right down the middle in this spot. And remember, every part of this pizza is griddled.
Except the tomato.
Every part of it. Except for the tomatoes and
the oregano.
The oregano and the olives.
But they were grilled before.
The olives were already grilled, yes. All right, so yep, you cut in half. There we go. And I'm gonna take care of this half real quick. We're gonna cut it into quarters. I guess it would be eighths.
At home we just used to cut it into quarters, and that was it. We were 4 people.
Right, but you know, we gotta go fancy. You gotta have official looking slices, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I see this one and I'm excited for this slice right here. I mean, I lost a tomato.
Is it hot?
So it's okay. It is, it's pretty hot. And it looks, I mean, look at this slice of pizza here. That is it's beautiful. It's unique. I've never seen a slice of pizza like this before. I really haven't. But anyway, I don't want it to cool down. I guess I should take a bite, right?
Go ahead.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna need some time with this.
Already? Okay.
Time alone. I've never had a slice of pizza like this. The cheese is extra chewy. I love the olives. And of course, you really get the taste of that whole grain flour in this crust. I lost my tomato, but I have another. You're not gonna get that extra thick risen bit of crust. It's not very crispy out there, but you do have a crispy bottom because we griddled it extra. And it doesn't, I mean, if you look, you can slide the cheese right off. However, holding it, it stays, and the flavors all work together. This is, without a doubt, a slice of pizza.
You know, I think I want to try it.
You should.
If I was...
Let me get my pizza fingers and grab the camera from you.
I'm gonna choose my portion here. So I like this giant one.
Nice big slice.
Yeah, the biggest one. I like it. So I've never had pizza like this neither. That cheese is amazing. I love it.
See, so I know, like I said, it looks pretty dark there, but it really isn't. It's not a burned cheese. Honestly, it looks it. It looks very burned, but it's just a very chewy, flavorful mozzarella. In combination with that other cheese, which is, like I said, a lot like a provolone.
I think this is great. It's a great variation of things that are like always on pizza, but I know. I think it's just awesome.
Now, you see what I mean? Where you kind of have to hold the ingredients on there a little bit. Because it wasn't all baked together, it didn't have time or the ability to just kind of fuse. It's not like one big cohesive piece, but it all works together.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
Me too. And I also love pina coladas. Nice. I'm gonna go for another sip. All right, maybe one more.